We're here with our guest James today. Phil's a never no-show, but he did call. He gave advance notice, but James is fighting an illness and called me on his way here. He just sniffled, which is unnerving, but called me and sounded sick and decided to still sit here a foot away from me and do the podcast, so more power to him.
Yeah, I said we wouldn't make out, so...
Yeah, but that remains to be seen. I want to start. You said you have a surprise.
Oh.
Which you texted 11:30 last night, and first of all said you've been sick for 2 days and might not make it, which was great, especially after doing a solo show last week.
Right, so I wasn't going to do that to you again.
Right, you would just let me know the night before
well,
that you might not be here.
Yeah, I would just worry you.
And then you said you have a surprise and would not tell me what it is. So what is the surprise? We'll do it on air.
Well, it wouldn't have been a surprise if I told you what it was.
Sure, naturally.
So, this brings us full circle to the night of the bus.
Okay.
Right, the party bus. You brought up a great idea of I should have brought a Sharpie. And in that moment, I realized I failed my job. But I said, how much easier would it be if I just had stickers?
Yes.
So, I had one of my old coworkers design us stickers for the pod, which have
This actually is a great surprise.
Yeah, they have our Twitter on them and our YouTube. And
let me see one of these.
And I can order these anytime now.
Live unveil. How much was this?
Well, so...
That's why you asked what our YouTube was.
Yeah.
A while
and
ago.
It cost a certain amount of money. It wasn't a lot, and I gave the person a tip because I thought they did a great job. They also rushed the order. And we can get these any size we want. We can get different designs.
I'm holding in my hand now
got the business card right there.
A sticker that says 3 Dot Media, which is our YouTube. I believe that's our logo. Those 3 dots in the middle. Nice. And then a Twitter logo, and then 3 Dot Podcast, which is our Twitter.
Yeah, so, and they're about palm size.
How many you have in your hand there?
I have 100 total, so I was thinking... Well,
oh, yes.
I thought Phil was going to be here, so I was going to give you guys each 30, and I was going to keep 40, and we were going to start the underground movement of sticker slapping shit.
Yeah.
I'll sticker slap your mom. Not your mom, but somebody's mom.
So if you see a 3 Dot Media or 3 Dot Podcast sticker,
let us know.
Let us know. Give us a shout out.
We'll know it's working.
Our Gmail obviously is still 3 Dot Podcasts, same as the Twitter. That's exciting. So we actually have a form of marketing now.
Yeah, and when I was smart about it. So once we make this an LLC, which we're gonna have to talk about at some point for sure.
Yes. I'll get a picture of this for Murph to put on the website too, since he's our website runner.
For sure. I Venmo'd the person and labeled it as 3 Dot Media Marketing Funds. So
we're already covered there.
Yeah. So if we end up making this an LLC, then I can also tax write off. So
also true.
So
that's actually really big news and a great surprise. These actually do look pretty good too.
Yeah,
and they'll stick out.
Yeah,
Twitter,
we can change
YouTube
it any
logo.
time, and
I like it. Nice.
Cool.
Good surprise. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah.
This is a 3 Dot Podcast now. It's not the Nick Ryder show today.
See, there we go.
Just like that.
Full circle. But yeah, here's, I don't know, there's probably like 30.
Did you put any up yet?
I have not yet. No. I actually had to drive like quite a distance away in my work car, which they pay for gas, so I don't care, to pick these up. So.
Did he know what they were when he made them? Or is that just like whatever you said?
When Phoenix made them?
Sure.
He did. So
his name's Phoenix?
Yes.
Okay. You should have led with that.
Well, all right.
That's a cool name.
Yeah, it's awesome. But yeah, so I just sent him.
That is awesome.
I just said, hey, I need some stickers. I know you make them, so here's what I need. And just throw, like, I didn't even say to put the 3 dots on there. I just said what we were, what our name was. And then he just came back and he was like, at first he's like, I don't know if I'll be able to get them done time. And he's like, you know what, fuck it. How big do you need them? I'll cut them all. And he just did it all in one day.
And he's a new coworker, or you've known this guy?
Phoenix.
Yes.
I don't want to get rid of too much personal information.
Sure.
But actually, it was an old employee of mine. Yeah, that's all I'll say on the pod. I'll tell you more later.
Okay. What else? Does he just do stickers? Or, does he do...
He also does
down the line,
different types of art.
Or what?
And last time I talked to him, he
can help with our mural. Which,
yes.
As you can see, I've not done much on.
I don't think he will,
there.
though, unless if he did it as, like, some type of digital art, because he doesn't do a lot of physical art.
All right. Fair enough.
So,
Well, that is a good surprise, though. I will say that was a well done. Well done. You've done more than Phil has in the last year.
Yeah.
Just by doing that.
And we still got more, so it's easy.
But yeah, so that I'm excited now. That was really good. So, within the last 5 days, we have a blog website ready to go, which we can start writing drafts pieces for.
Yep.
And then we have a marketing campaign going. Big news.
I'm just gonna carry them on me all the time, and then anytime
anywhere
I stop somewhere,
next time I get gas, boom.
Yeah,
going up.
did that instead of Biden.
So you mentioned the bus, though.
Yes.
Going back to the bus. So I think we should just start there with a recap.
Yeah,
I did
fair.
some on the solo show, which you did listen to that, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Which is funny because I listened to it without you. I just he said he was going to do it, so then I checked my email because it also goes to not my main email.
Right.
And I was like, that motherfucker. He didn't say nothing. He slid
Just
it in
dropped
there.
it. Silent drop.
And then I listened to it. It was good. I thought you did very well by yourself,
Thank you.
even though you slandered me. But
Barely. We'll get to that.
Deserved.
Well, no. All right. We'll just do that now. It was deserved to just say, let's call it off. Maybe, again, this could just be me. We always go back to the phrasing.
This is where I think we crossed the fine line, and this will bring Phil full circle here too, of friends, and now somebody who's elevated themselves to a position of power. So when I text you as a friend, hey, we should just call off. That's just normal conversation.
That's not how I took it.
Right? It wasn't me even trying to call the show off. I didn't expect you to be like, oh no, fuck that. I just thought, okay, maybe he's nervous to do a solo show. I know I'm not coming. Phil just bailed on us for the fucking umpteenth time.
Right.
So I was like, hey, don't worry. Just call off. We'll get him double episodes or something like that. It was in my head.
Okay.
But then your response, and I was like,
well, it's also...
all right, he's with the other route, and that's fine.
The age-old thing of text. I just read that. I was like, what the fuck?
Exactly. Yeah, you can't read emotion there, right? Instead, I'm just like, you know what? Don't fucking do anything without me.
That's more of what it was. I was like, well, no, if we're going to do something.
Not the way I intended.
It is funny, though, because I feel like there is, now that you say that, there is that slight line. Whereas, if it is podcast or 3 Dot related, it definitely is slightly...
The tone's different. It's a little different.
It is, but I feel like I have to be, because, I mean, this is my baby here.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Phil doesn't respect that, which is fine. Murph finally is starting to get it, made the website. You know, he's around. He's hovering.
Where is he right now?
He doesn't ever want to come in and record, which is fine. I get it, because the one time I was going to have him on, he said he was too nervous to do it.
Can I talk about... It's going to derail from the party bus for 1 second.
We've already
derailed.
a
Train. Like he's
train derail. We keep doing this. All right, go ahead.
Anyways,
don't be too
I don't
hazardous.
know how to say it and not have it come across as weird.
Just say it.
But in your solo podcast, you said Mike wants to maybe watch?
Yeah. Sexually.
Fluffer?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he said he wants to observe. Which I said on the show. I don't know what that means exactly.
Right.
Maybe he wants to see the mural. Maybe he wants to just look at the equipment. I don't know.
Did he... we need to get up the job listing for our producer.
I think that's my thing, is I've been hovering around subliminally as I am right now, because he's going to hear this. I think Mike would be great for it.
And I don't disagree. I don't know.
And I've told you about bits we do. Like,
yeah.
Mike would fit in perfect.
But that's what weirded me out when you said observe. So is it...
he just said that, but, like, I know he has equipment that he could use. Like, he already has it. It wouldn't be like, hey, do you have this stuff? Yeah, I know he has it.
Will he work for free?
I think so.
All right.
At least for a start.
He's hired SpongeBob.
Well, we already know that once some money comes in, our whole group's just going to break up in some sort of anarchy. That's just going to happen.
Why is that your thought process?
It's not mine. People predicted that. Outside forces are fighting against us on this one.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. So I guess at some point we'll have to define a split. Is that what they're worried of?
I think that's more of what the thing is.
That's what they're worried of? Okay.
Yes.
I will say I've invested into it, and I will continue to invest in the company. And that's always been my plan.
Sure.
But I also always did it without expecting a return.
Right. Which is why I also think you'd clearly be us two and probably not a third person getting anything.
Okay. All right. Hey.
Which is fine.
Until we make it, you know?
Exactly. That's down the road discussions once these stickers take off. No, but I think Mike would be perfect as a producer. Very good comedically very good at, sound technical wise. I think he has the chops to do it. I mean, it's not hard. We're doing a podcast.
So far, everything I've heard about him, he sounds like he'd be great.
Yeah,
I look forward to meeting
other
him.
people that listen that know Mike are like, you got to get him on. You know what I mean? Which part of me hates because I'm like, don't tell me how to run the fucking show.
Well, yeah.
But I also do agree with him. I think he would be good for it. So we'll see if that happens down the road.
So great idea, but it needs to be yours. You heard it here first, folks. He thinks Mike could be a great producer.
I was already thinking that. Before, but I also didn't want to be like, hey, we come do this. I don't want to beg him. If he wants to do it, if he wants to do it. But I don't want to put him in a weird spot either.
Yeah, if he wants to come add value, great. If not, just be a listener, and that
or
still
if he
adds
just
value.
stops in once in a while as just a guest spot too, that's fine. I mean, whatever he would want to do.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he'll hear this, and then we'll find out.
Yeah. Where are we going to? The party bus.
Yeah, back to the party bus.
Yes.
You had some astute observations, which I will not disagree with.
All right. Well, should we just start there with what I said on the solo show?
Sure.
Which, we'll end with the lesbian fight because I know you have thoughts on that.
Why does that keep happening to us?
Lesbian fights?
Yeah, we keep seeing them, and nobody else does.
I know. I want to know what the percentage is.
Do we
of
pay
people who
attention
have
too
seen
much?
It. Well, that's probably it. Is like people are probably talking
people
to us
watch too
as we're
much?
staring at other people.
Yeah.
No, but music. First of all, you agreed. You were part of the kind of core group that was like, "What the fuck's going on?" The same playlist played twice within one bus trip.
So that fucked me up.
That was horrible.
Especially because it played when I was more sober and then when I was less sober. So that's always weird.
Also, I said it on the solo show, so I don't want to repeat the whole thing, but started out perfect. Some older songs, club songs, everyone's having a good time, and then it switched to modern, just TikTok rap, as you called it.
Which I had not heard. A lot of TikTok. I don't have TikTok. You don't have TikTok.
Right.
Talked about it before, so I won't overindulge. And I didn't expect Phil to be like, yeah, I'm this TikTok rap.
I think it's just because he loves rap so much, but sometimes it's like when you're standing too close to something and you don't see the whole picture. It's like, I love this so much, and I like this so much, that I'm sure everyone would love it in a party setting.
Yeah.
And, like, wasn't the case.
No.
They weren't bad songs. Like, it wasn't a bad vibe, but it was just, like, not quite.
You can't
it was
vibe
off.
to what you don't know.
That too. I keep reaching for this. That's not my water. God damn it.
Nope. Yeah, so that was cool.
Sure.
The lady who caused the...
Cheetah Girl.
Yeah, moth brain.
The girl who was treating the bus like a stripper bus. We first...
Coochie pounding her man's face. Let's just call it what it was.
That she was.
Tarzan swinging into a dome.
First of all, she started a lesbian fight, but she was also put both legs like around her man. Was that her man?
She was holding... I assume her
Well,
man.
she was holding the bar up top.
The rail up top.
And then put both legs on
she
either
looked
side
like
of his
the
head.
New York subway dancers.
Yes.
Except she was just
And
coochie
then
pounding
just
that bald man's
like
face.
the Brazilian dance thing. Just slamming into him.
Yeah.
And no one seemed to notice or mind except for us. So, which again, maybe we just observed too much.
Maybe.
But I was like, is this guy's face okay, first of all?
Yeah.
He could have broken his fucking nose the way she was hitting him. We've got introduced to her with James calling her Moth Brain.
Yeah.
Go
Which
ahead.
I want to preface because Phil's not here to defend her. We don't actually
We
know
don't know
who
the
this
relationship.
woman is.
Yeah.
And she could she brought entertainment. She brought excitement. She's high energy. If I had a party bus, I might fucking invite her, just because
Just to be there.
she was partying.
She was
there's no
partying more than
denying.
anybody else.
Yeah, there's no denying she was partying. But they showed up late, so we met them at the first bar, which is why I didn't know who they were.
I also, before you go too far off the Moth Brain, I think Haley said that she overheard something where that chick was drunk before she even got there. Which would help explain some of the stuff.
100%.
But go ahead.
Because I had never seen her drink. I only seen her drink water.
Right.
Before this. So in my head, she's sober, she's high on life, and loves to party.
Or high on fucking Percocets or something.
Something, right? But she was a little too awake for that in my book. For personal experience.
Jesus.
Um,
Same. What?
Anyways. So yeah. So we tried to take a photo because Lauren asked us to take a photo of our group. She wanted Phil to have a lot of memories.
Real quick. Our group photo didn't get included on their Facebook story.
Well, I didn't see
It was
that.
everyone else. It just adds up.
Phil, answer for your fucking self without you being here. Anyways, so we try to take the group photo. Well, again, she's not wearing the shot glass or the name tag, which all of us had on,
right?
Which was a great idea.
That's a good vibe
for us to tell who's who, right?
Yeah.
I liked it. And then so she crouches next to me again. Don't know who she is. Don't know she's with the group. And that's what I tell her. I'm like, hey, I don't know you because we're about to take a photo. And then she still stays there. And then the photo gets taken. She immediately laughs and then goes, I just photobombed. And I'm like, all right. Still don't know you. It's kind of weird to meet somebody.
Of a photobomb, really. But
right. So that happens. Immediately, she walks away to the nearest glass lighting object.
The lamp.
And taps it. And is continually tapping it and looking at it. And in my head, I was like, this woman.
So this could actually be a moth
living inside of
in a woman.
And moths like to party. That's well documented. That's why they like lights.
That's a known fact. Huh. Well, that's something we need to look into.
Then you almost walked into the bathroom on her.
Well, no, she was washing her hands. Well, the door was open, so it's not like...
The door was open.
Yeah, it's not like I barged in the door. I wouldn't have done that.
But it was just a funny... turn of events.
That would have been a weird interaction, because I feel like she would have just said something absurd.
Yeah.
Gone full moth on me.
Right.
Maybe flown into the lamps in the bathroom. No, she was very bizarre. She was very turned up the entire time. Unlike the other girl whose birthday it was.
Yeah.
We'll stay on Cheetah Girl here. I guess that's the name we're going to have to... You want to go with Moth?
It's nicer than Moth Brain. And again, she could be a wonderful lady. I would invite her to... I will stand by that. If I have a party bus, I'm finding her contact and she's coming.
Yeah, I still don't know who had the relation to Phil or Lauren in that case. But
unanswered, unsolved mysteries like Bigfoot.
She's dancing with one of the lesbians.
Yes.
And the other lesbian did not look happy. Was
I
right about that?
It seemed like there was a type of feeling there, which I could understand.
There was a tension.
She
kept trying to pull... She literally had her by the belt loop at one point. Yeah. Trying to pull her back.
Yeah, trying to, keep her up, it seemed like. And then there was I think it was also... There could have been not even tension in that moment, but it could have just been like, oh my God, my girlfriend's so fucking drunk.
Also true.
Because I can understand that to where, especially when you're the more sober one, you know you have to take care of it. They're having fun, but in a messy way right in front of you. And you're just like, what the fuck? Right. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think it could have been either. It could have went either way.
The whole bus dynamic was so weird because, there's us in the middle kind of watching everything. Up front was Danny and his folks. In the very back was the other birthday girl with the only two people she brought. And then in between us and her was just vibes. The entire party was right in that little section. Which was also funny because every bar we went to, it was just groups of 4.
Yeah, everybody just broke
it off. Yeah, it was like everyone was having their own individual party for Phil.
Yeah, we're all partying in Phil's honor. So, that was, that's how the bus went. I honestly wish the girls...
Well, before we sum up the bus thing, Phil clearly hasn't told anyone about the podcast, even though we asked him about it.
Yeah.
Because...
Not a good look, Phil.
Because you mentioned... Early on, you just said something about the podcast.
I normally do that when
I'm
with
but
people,
I'm saying
right?
You were talking... it was in conversation. It wasn't even, out of place. And someone goes, oh, you do a podcast? And then we both were like, yeah, the 3 of us do one. And he goes, oh, cool. What's it called? Asking about it.
Yeah.
And Phil said he doesn't know anyone that would listen to it. I'm pretty sure everyone on that party bus would be more than happy to listen to it. Maybe not now, because we're trashing Moth Brain. But... Danny should have what?
No, he should have played... Phil should have just played our podcast, the whole party bus.
That would have been great. That would have been fantastic.
People would have hated it.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Not the place. But, I think Danny would listen for sure because he seemed super excited. And then he asked us about it, and I was like, we make a podcast for no one, but everybody loves it.
Right. Which I think is the best description, is it's only for people who listen.
Exactly.
Because it kind of builds... you otherwise you don't know or care about us.
It's almost interactive. Some of them get to be involved.
That's what I mean. This was always my vision. No, that's why I get the higher split.
What an idiot.
What else did I have? I think that was all I had for the party bus. Because I didn't want to do a whole deep dive again. And we still don't have Phil.
The bathroom was weird.
I did not use the
hand
bathroom on the bus.
sanitizer, weird move. Also, I was like, I'm good at handling myself with alcohol in most cases, I would say. I drink a decent bit and can handle it. But towards the last stop, when I had to pee while we were driving, well, we would just drink way too much.
Is drinking till 5 a.m. too much? Who's to say?
Well, you don't need sleep if you're drunk.
And you're not drunk if you're high. We've always said that.
Yeah. So when we were leaving Reset, so the last bar, that bus, windy as fuck, bounces around a lot.
Our driver at one point couldn't see. By the way.
Yeah, that was
fogged up.
That was a worry of mine.
That was
But I was in that bathroom and trying my best to piss in said toilet. I think you're supposed to sit down.
I told you that after you got out.
I was standing.
Right.
So I did my best.
Luckily you did at the end of the trip.
Exactly. But I'm glad I was sober enough to not fall and piss on myself.
True.
Because there was no way to clean it.
You just walk out of the bathroom just stained.
Soaked.
Not just your pants, your shirt's covered. Every bit about you soaked.
Just coming out of my mouth.
I was going to say, dripping down your face.
Yeah.
James, what happened to you in there?
I fucking fought a bear.
I think you were supposed to sit down.
Yeah. So.
Cocaine bear.
Yeah. I like the party bus, though. It was a good idea. It was expensive.
It was good. It was interesting to have that group just because it wasn't... Everyone didn't know each other, but that kind of made it more fun.
Yeah.
Except for the dude who kept making Game of Thrones jokes to me.
See, and I had a different interaction with that guy, and I enjoyed it.
No, he was fine, but it was just the dynamic of saying a joke and then immediately being like, "I'm so sorry," as if he said something offensive, which I would have preferred. I would have rather him say something offensive than apologize for a benign joke.
Yeah.
I mean...
you wilding fuck.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been better than, defend the wall.
That guy also doesn't... he does later in the show.
No, he's really attacking the wall.
But, he lives on the other side, right?
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah, but they were against the wall.
Yeah. That's true. They wanted freedom for everybody. So, yeah. Kind of fucked that up. Kind of fucked that up, Derek.
He also worked for the FDA.
What the fuck?
I believe. Or USDA. He works for some... Yeah.
All right.
So that's the type of people that are working there, in case you were wondering.
Well, in case his bosses are wondering, me and him had a bit to where we talked about how to get out of a DUI. Because if we all smelled like liquor and had to drive home. And what it came down to was most judges are older, so you just hopefully push them into a Vietnam War PTSD trip.
You trigger a flashback.
Yeah. So
how do you do that in a courtroom?
Well, first of all, you have to wear the rice hat, the straw hat.
Okay.
That they wear in the rice fields.
Okay.
Then you'd probably shout something in Vietnamese, like "Didagaunga," which is like, you better go now.
And do you think that's just enough to do it?
Well, I don't know. Charlie in the Trees, Agent Orange. You could try anything. A culmination
just
of
sort
things.
of screaming napalm over and over again.
Yeah. So it'll get you out of it. It's yet to be proven it won't.
I guess that's true. I mean, when you put it that way, 100% hypothetical success rate.
Yeah, exactly. Cool.
All right. You had something else about Phil or the party bus or no? I didn't want to go over on it.
Phil, my guy.
Who we love.
Yeah, legally, he could be fired at this point for job
from the
abandonment.
podcast.
Yeah, for job abandonment. I mean,
he's given notice.
It's
both
3
times.
no call, no shows.
He's called.
How easy is it to lose the text message?
You're saying I delete his message?
That's all I'm saying.
He didn't say anything.
He didn't.
Is he quiet? Is he quiet quitting?
I had that theory before, but then he came back, and he came back strong.
That's true. That's the thing. Maybe he just needs these weak hiatuses, and maybe next week he's gonna blow us away.
He just likes to be the underdog.
That could also be it.
Except this is Phil. 3 in a row is too many.
This is because you both mess up. All right, we're back after a technical difficulty.
You son of a bitch.
Well,
I had told you if we plugged it into the other port, it would have worked.
You never said that because the first time.
Said, no. This is back when we were having audio.
What's it plugged into right now?
It's plugged into the DC.
And what did you who plugged it in the first time, and who put it into the other spot?
I did.
Yes.
But
well, there it is.
There was a moment when we had the audio issues, the feedback issues. I said, let's try the other fucking part. You're like, don't fuck it.
I did
You
not.
were in a
That
very
is
weird
bullshit.
mood. You were in a weird mood. You
That
were moving around all weird.
Hand motions aside, that is not the case. Because I was messing with this one, I messed with that, I unplugged the mic before when we had sound issues, which I also solved all of that with
Your
this
device, your fault. You fucked it up.
Who bought
now
that
this pod isn't one take.
Who picked up that cord?
I did.
And who plugged
Does
into
the cord work?
And who plugged into the other spot?
You did.
No, that is not true. Because you earlier
at some
go
point,
back 5 seconds earlier, you said I plugged in.
Fake
meaning
news,
you.
falsified information. At some point, you had unplugged everything and moved everything.
Right.
And then you replugged it in without
Sure.
me.
Sure.
So maybe I originally had it plugged
Last time?
You said sure. I'm saying at some point, there was a point to where I came down here to record a podcast episode. Everything was unplugged.
These hand motions need to stop. I don't know what this is.
We just need to get a webcam in here.
Sure.
Get some filming.
Fuck you, because that is your fault. That little switch right there, the changeover, was all you. You fixed it now, but the point is it died once because of how you had to set it up.
And this is why you're going to get less of a cut.
Look who's talking themselves out of any cut.
Yeah, sure.
I'm taking your stickers and running. But listen, let's direct our anger towards Phil.
Yeah, you're right.
Who I believe right before the thing died, we were talking about him quiet quitting, and you said it was a theory you had.
It was a theory I had before, yeah. And then,
but now he's back.
I think he's just underdog guy. I don't know. Maybe he'll come back. Maybe he won't. Maybe he's a stray dog kind of guy. Maybe he'll just leave, never come back. If somebody else is feeding him.
Like Murph's dog.
Maybe he's got another pod like Murph was talking about.
Yeah, I still don't know what that was about.
I don't know. He almost died for it, though.
Murph?
What a shame. Yeah.
You were going to kill him?
I wasn't going to kill him. Why the fuck would I ever do that?
Why are you winking?
I'm not. See, there's no camera, so now you're trying to blame me.
You winked
sick
again.
Fuck.
You winked
sick
again.
Fuck.
Okay, well, winky. Shit, I've completely lost track of where we were.
That's definitely going to be loud. I do apologize for the volume.
Well,
but we had to get that off our chest.
Well, it started before I hit record too, so you kind of heard the tail end of that. Yes.
Yeah.
But the point is, you fucked up.
Sure, yeah, you definitely fucked up, didn't you, Nick?
So do we want to do... I think I did this right before it died too, but is that it for Phil?
Yeah.
In the party bus.
Yep. I'm done.
Fuck. The energy's weird now.
Yeah, right.
Do you want to go into sporty mode, or do you want to...
Sporty mode.
Because I believe you had a couple.
I have quite a few, yeah.
Well, first of all, we'll start off Super Bowl. Anything that I did not touch on or reaction to what I said?
Yeah. So, first of all...
You were one of the ones who got the paragraphs from me about how fucking annoying that call was.
And I agree wholeheartedly.
Okay.
It was a great Super Bowl. Not a great halftime.
You agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then...
it could have been. It should have been.
I thought the stages were cool. I thought it had potential when she first came out. But then it's like a lot of lip singing, like you said. No guests. I thought was weird.
Right.
A lot of her hit songs have...
Right. Like she has her own, but the one she chose two songs that...
In the transition to the
she's
coach,
featured on.
When she sang songs she was featured on, that's when I was like, oh, I guess like it's perfect time.
Right. Especially when everyone was like, when she was at the back of the line, I thought someone else was going to be there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, Riri, you kind of dropped the ball. I also thought a little bit weird of Andy Reid to not... And I think it was a political answer, but if I was Andy Reid, I would have given more props to Tony, who almost returned a punt, which got them amazing field position, which changed the score.
Wait, what happened? What are you saying?
He only talked about Patrick Mahomes and defensive line, I think.
Isn't that what he was asked about?
No, they just essentially said, like, what do you think changed in the second half? And he just said those two. But I think I would have said, one, Tony's punt return, or almost punt return, fucking phenomenal, especially from the young kid. And then two, Pacheco.
Pacheco, yes.
Yeah. He ran hard as fuck.
He did. No, he played really well.
He got hit hard as fuck and still ran his ass off. And still was running
I will say,
so aggressive.
The offensive line he brought up, because that was a big theme, was how bad their offensive line was and how good the Eagles' pass rush is, and they give up 0 sacks. So I get why he did that. The Mahomes, he had under 200 yards, right?
Yep.
And he got MVP. He's getting all this credit. Like, nothing to take away, because I think he's one of the most talented, pure talent quarterbacks ever play. But what?
He's cringy. His brother's cringy.
Yes.
Everything about them is cringe.
Well, cringe
and I
is-
think he fucking faked that injury.
A lot of people saying
think
that.
he was hurt as bad as he made it seem.
I think a lot of people are
he
saying
wanted to
that.
seem hurt so he could come back. I don't think he's got that fucking dog in him, for one.
Well,
and for two, he probably got juiced up.
Oh, yeah, 100% did. But the other thing was the touchdown passes were wide open.
Yep.
Like, all credit goes to Andy Reid, and he still had to make the pass, but, like, there wasn't a single throw that I remember being like, oh, only Patrick Mahomes could do that.
Right.
And
also, I mean,
Travis Kelce's cringe, too.
he is, but I still like him.
I hate him.
I'll give it to Travis Kelce.
I hate him.
enjoy
I
the
hate
guy.
the podcast with him and his brother.
Really?
They do. Oh, my God, yeah.
I think they're good. I think Jason's cool.
I think
like
Jason's
Jason more
fine.
than Travis, but
yes,
I think
but
they're both
I
cool.
think they're both just like WWE, or Travis is just like a WWE guy, basically. It's all theatrics. It's all just over the top character.
He's fucking good at what he does.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a good tight end.
Oh, sure. Jesus, I don't care about. I'm talking about his podcast and his personality. I'm just saying. It all just seems performative. Like, he doesn't seem like a real person to me.
Maybe he's not.
Cool. Gronk's the same way.
Is that like the tight end curse? In order to make a name for yourself, you have to just become this character.
You have to do that or kill 2 people like Aaron Hernandez.
Gone forever.
Yes.
Yep. So yeah, that's about what I have on the game. I agree with you. The refs were doing a fine job. That was an aggressive game. People were getting away with a lot of calls. To call that, it does end the game. Shouldn't have happened.
Right.
And I think it doesn't make the game. The Eagles made other mistakes. They could have still won. But that definitely ended it. At that point,
Well, it took away
know
a
who
final
wins.
drive chance.
Right.
100%. And also, people shitting on Jalen Hurts. Like, dude just had shoulder surgery not that long ago. Like his pass only went like 30 yards or whatever. It's like,
And it also looked like they
like even his
about,
deep balls were rough. I mean, they were in the air forever, and his receivers made hell of a play.
Well, and they talked about the turf a lot and how it was so painted.
Oh yeah, didn't he say he slipped on that throw?
He may have.
I think he said
didn't see that, but watching it, it looked like a duffed throw. It looked like the timing between his legs and his arm was off. And
Well,
so that's
fucking
easy to do, and then
Rihanna
you lose so
bringing
much
out that
power.
stage tore up the whole fucking grass.
Yeah, it probably wasn't a good idea.
No, they always do this too. I feel like this happens like every once in a while with the Super Bowl. They have a big performance, and then the grass is fucked.
Well, next year will probably be different.
Who is it next year? Do we know?
No.
Oh.
But the Sod father, that was his last Super Bowl.
Oh, that's who that is.
God
Yeah, I did
of
see
Sod.
that. Yeah.
He's done every single Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Why?
Just that they, one, chose to go with one guy, and two, he hasn't had any egregious fuck-ups to where he's got to do it his whole career to
He
his...
mowed the
he's like
grass.
94.
Yeah. What egregious fuck up could he have?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he
What
could
a way
fuck-
to go out for your.
I think this was bad.
That's what I'm saying.
They
Way to go out
painted
for your
all of it.
your last Super Bowl. He fucked up the grass in the second half. It wasn't Rihanna. He was out there trying to fucking cut it.
No, they painted it too much is what everybody was saying.
Really?
It's slippery as fuck.
He fucked up.
So, hate to be one of his grandchildren, but still probably had a better grandpa than mine. So, never mind.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's...
Well, staying in sporty mode and longevity.
Oh, and Pat Tillman.
Oh, well, that's not sporty.
Speaking of longevity in sport mode.
Well, he didn't have longevity.
No,
He died.
he did.
Yeah.
Friendly fire, which they didn't bring up.
Yes.
Which, you have a good point.
Why?
Why
would they in that place? Like,
I think it's just with the greater context of some of the last things he said before he died, which was, I may die in a weird way, and also they're going to parade me in the streets.
do you think he meant people using his story, or do you think he meant the people that kill him will literally parade him through the streets?
I think he meant using his story. I think he meant in the fact of, like, I don't think he would have agreed with the way that they used him as this great story of, hey, he left the NFL to defend his country.
Pat Tillman gets brought up all the time
Yeah,
around football in general.
right.
And yeah, if you do read his whole story, it's wild.
Took months for them to tell the family it was friendly fire.
Right.
Also,
Well, it's because he was disenchanted with the war effort, right?
He
got
was
there
against the war.
Right.
When he got there, he realized that
And
was
they
a lot
are not
of fucked
fans
up
of
things. No. Yeah. Big U.S. government taking the blame for something they may have caused. Not a big
Well,
fan.
I just meant his fellow soldiers, but sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's blame the whole government.
Yeah.
I was actually going to talk about
Norfolk Southern.
longevity. We'll get to that. Longevity. LeBron. You want to talk about LeBron's record?
Yeah.
Which I wasn't sure if I was going to bring up. I also was just going to ask you quick because you're not a huge sports fan, or you're new to being a big sports guy.
I'm still not a big sports guy. You can say
right,
that.
but I mean, yeah, but you like it more. You're watching it more in general.
Ball.
But I was going to ask from an outsider's perspective about LeBron, but you came in wanting to talk about it.
I didn't watch the game. I
Right.
did watch the clip, and I hope this is not the way we continue to do things in sports.
Or what?
The phones was a problem, definitely. But my bigger issue is you don't stop a game.
Oh, yeah, you do.
In the middle of a fucking game because somebody broke a record.
It's not the first time that something like that's happened.
It shouldn't happen.
You realize what that record is, though. I mean, that's
but I think the Lakers had more of a chance to win if they didn't stop.
Oh, I don't think they're winning regardless. The Lakers are trash.
I think if I was the player, I wouldn't want to stop.
Well,
because adrenaline's going now.
I'm a LeBron fan, but he's very much a showman, and he definitely wanted that and liked that.
He may have, but I wouldn't. And then lastly, the defender didn't play fucking defense, and it's like, how could you in this moment, I guess? But I'd be like, fucking earn it. I mean, he walks up to LeBron, who can clearly make that shot, puts his hand up, and then puts it towards like his body, as LeBron's shooting over his head.
Well, he was fading away.
It was poor defense.
But you act like he wouldn't have got that within the next game anyway. Like, that one guy playing defense.
No, but I would have. Earn it. I'm not going to fucking give it to you. I'm not going to be
regardless
the clip of the guy who didn't play defense.
See, you say that, but Kobe's last game, no one was playing defense when he went for like 60 or whatever. I mean...
They should have.
I'm with you. But also, you do stop the game for that one.
No.
It's the...
There was like 15 minutes.
Greatest record in basketball, or one of the hardest people thought would never get touched.
Fuck him. I disagree.
And that record's been around since Kareem.
We'll see if he gets to play with his son or not.
Probably.
He's probably still got it.
Well, they're gonna honor him at halftime of the All-Star game too. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah.
I'm not. That makes more sense to me.
Oh yeah, but I get why they stopped it. I don't think. Here's what. You are right in the sense. I feel like they should have just stopped the game. Maybe give him the ball and just like he says, he waves to the crowd or something. His family comes out, all the photographers come out. That I'll give you was overblown. But if they stop for just a minute, and it's like let the crowd give him an ovation or something, I'm fine with that.
I think you just have the announcers go fucking wild. You can have the fucking arena play music, fucking flashlights if you want. But I think you keep the game going because you're the most pumped you're going to be and have a chance to turn it around. A lot of people say there wasn't a chance.
No,
I think there is.
There really wasn't a chance. And it was literally just about the record that night. I mean, that's why everyone was there.
Right.
I'm with you. I think it shouldn't have been what it was, but I do think there is a cause to stop the game for a minute. Not the 15-minute, bring your family out and do a photo shoot. That was weird.
Fucking ruin the surface that they're going to play on. Somebody should have pissed on it. Fuck them.
Someone should have got the sod
fodder. Stupid. Yeah.
Just grass at midcourt.
More sports ball stuff.
Yes.
Ocho Cinco. What do you think of the guy?
What do I think of the guy?
Yeah.
Just in general?
Did you like him as a player or did you like him
I liked him as a player. I was young when he was like in his prime, but
yeah.
He was fun. Like, I remember using him on Madden. He was cool. He was a big celebrator, big trash talker. I mean, he was a fun player to watch.
For sure. I think he had a different outlook on a lot of things, and I think that he was smarter than most people credit him. I heard him speak on a podcast recently, and he maintained like 83% of his income. He never flew private. He always flew just regular planes, coach. He wouldn't spend money on jewelry. All of his jewelry was fake. And his whole thing was, I'm going to make my name worth more than anything I can buy, so why the fuck would I buy something?
Right.
I just
don't think that's... I was going to say that's not that uncommon, but percentage-wise, a lot of these guys do end up going broke.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of players that, especially now with people knowing that, I mean, a lot of these guys are smarter about it. Because I think it was Gronk who, like, kept all his income from salaries and only spent endorsements. You know, like there are a lot more guys doing that now.
People are getting smarter. I just think Ocho Cinco was ahead of his time, and hopefully more people will learn from him. I think he's just a pretty smart guy in general.
Do people say he's dumb?
Because
you said smarter than people give him credit for.
But I think a lot of people looked at him as like cocky and like even.
Oh, he was. I mean, that's different than
even on like his wiki and stuff. His net worth is below more than he like ever made. And at some point, he showed somebody on a podcast some money in his bank account too, and he's like, "How the fuck could that be my net worth if this is sitting in my bank?" And it's like,
but he's not cocky.
I just think cockiness normally comes with people thinking you're not intelligent.
I wouldn't say that because he was 100% a cocky player. I mean, that's not.
I think he was branding himself, which is smart.
I think that was just who he was too. I mean, some of the fines he paid. These cats are going off.
These cats are going wild. I'm sorry. I'm trying to delete the stuff we've been through.
Oh, okay. So well, let's just take a minute so you can do that.
No. I mean, I'm just waiting for you. What do you got here? You still on sports ball or are you done? Actually, I'm still on sports ball.
Betting, in general. Have you done any of it yet? Because I know last time you're not going to touch it.
Probably not. I might. I seen one of my coworkers has an app. I'm gonna keep saying scene, end scene. One of my coworkers has an app that he paid for, but you can follow people's betting, and it also shows you how often they've won or lost. I might do something like that because one, I don't want to. I dive way too deep into things once I get into them, so I know I'm gonna go balls to the walls if I start doing it, especially because it involves money.
Right.
But I also don't want every time there's a sporting event on, I need to fucking watch it. Because I'm like that with fantasy. I watch teams I don't care about because I want to see my players.
Right. See, I don't do that. Like, I'll bet and maybe watch one game. I don't religiously watch it. But I'll watch, like, the play-by-play to check stats sometimes if I have bet on that player. But I've been on a hot streak. Murph was on a hot streak. I talked about it on Monday. Then he missed a couple locks after I said he was 4-1 on locks. We're using the Big J system at Spartan. Is what we're calling it.
Big J.
I'm calling it. That's the new brand.
Is Jay a guy?
Yes.
Okay.
And I've been following his lead. He says it's a system that's not a system that plays like a system. As you look at your second phone, because you have two phones, flex. But I went 5-1 on bets last night. I was 4-2 the night before. I mean, I got a few more for tonight, but I'm way up now, and like I'm mixing what I'm doing and then the Big J system, and it's paying off.
Shout out to Big J.
Big J, he has a college basketball system that he's using, and the percentages on it is like 65%.
Team when they play a home game on Saturday, because they always win.
Never what?
You never bet against the home team on Saturday.
I don't know about that. Is that a thing?
System.
Is it?
It's part of Big J's system. He told me. He gave me insider intel.
You don't even know Big J.
I don't.
No, but part of it is you take, if it's a highly ranked team, so for instance tonight, Purdue was number 3 in the country.
Is he okay with you selling his system here?
Why not? What do you mean?
Does he want everybody knowing his system?
Who would care?
Vegas might learn, and they'll change the script.
I don't think 10 people betting on it is going to move it. But you take big, higher-ranked teams playing against unranked or bullshit teams, and when the bullshit team's home and the spread is really close, you bet on that home team.
Okay.
So and usually money line's worth more, but it depends. But it was just something because then you're going through it, and I bet a parlay with all 4 games that were like that, and then I bet them each individually, and 3 out of 4 hit.
Nice.
So I mean, I'm up either way, but like and then earlier that week I hit on a different one.
Is that kind of like hedging?
No, because that'd be betting both sides.
Okay.
And I mean, it makes sense because the line is that small, but like you would expect a high-ranked team playing a shit team, home or away, to be 5, 6 plus points.
Right.
But these are like 1.5.
Huh.
So then you're playing into Vegas's hand where you're like, they know that this game's going to be closer, and you're just taking those home odds. Because they're still underdogs, so they're still getting more money.
Huh.
So it's just something to look at.
Yeah, it's a good system.
That's the Big J system. Want to talk about the soap opera?
Not yet.
Okay.
I got one more sports
Okay.
fish. The anglers around here that were caught cheating. There
Those
we
guys?
go. Those guys. It's come to light that they've done some other shady things.
Okay.
More recently, one of them was caught at a bowling alley with their son using
Fentanyl.
fraudulent currency, fake $100 bills.
Really?
Yep.
So they lose a tournament, and
then
now
they claimed that they didn't know, and then there was text messages found between the son and the dad that definitely knew that's what they were going to do.
What?
Yes.
Fake currency.
Yes. Fake $100 bills.
I'm shocked, actually.
Yeah. There's that. There's some other like bullshit things that both guys have been like domestic violence shit and stuff like that.
Really?
Potentially, but yeah, that one is like they're getting in trouble for this, and now his son is involved in getting in trouble for it.
As he should.
Yep.
How old's his son?
I think like 18 or 19.
Just raising a criminal.
Yep. At a fucking bowling alley.
Right.
A local
Well,
bowling
did you
alley.
expect
Hey,
him
let
to
me
be?
get that $100.
Who's using a $100 bill at a bowling alley?
Apparently, these guys are probably fucking drinking a shit ton.
I guess.
It can be hard to rack up $100 at a bowling alley between two
Right.
people.
Right.
Yeah, those guys, real pieces of shit. There we go.
That's an all-time clip. I mean, I love that so much.
It's awesome that it's like local too.
But yeah, because where was it when that happened?
I think somewhere in Ohio because it's walleye.
I want to say
like
Cleveland.
walleye running stuff. So
Because I remember when that happened, I'd watch that clip probably 30 times. Just
Yeah.
kept playing it. Because the dude, first of all, if you watch it, the tournament director is wearing like Crocs,
yeah,
which is
fuck yeah,
hilarious.
He's ready.
And then he becomes the most alpha man to ever wear Crocs.
Yep.
He just rips the little lead ball out. We got weights and fish.
And then the other fillets in there, they'd put fish inside of fish.
Yeah. Well,
which is also illegal.
Well, it was also amazing that. Like, what were they thinking? Their weight was like 20 pounds more than the next person. Because if you watch the long clip,
they had
like
done
everyone's
a lot.
right. Well, yeah, they had won like 5 tournaments.
More.
Well, no, but I'm saying like
Yeah.
5 in a row or something. Because I think they. You could be right. Maybe they just
They
were
had
doing
won
it.
years worth of tournaments.
Right, I knew that, but it was something like they were on a streak or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't get it. Like, I don't know the statistics on fishing, but I feel like it's impossible even for like a quote good team to win that much.
You can't know all the spots.
Right,
at
every
all the
time.
spots.
Right. We got weights and fish.
All right, so what do you
Get
want
the
to move on
fuck out of
to?
here.
You had something.
Oh, well, I mean, do you want to talk about East Palestine? Or the soap opera?
East Palestine first.
Well, I feel like we should just do the soap opera first.
Okay.
Because then we'll just wrap up with East Palestine. Because I feel like that'll be longer.
Sure.
We're going to do a soap opera.
Okay.
All right. So, East Palestine, Ohio. There's a train derailment.
Yeah.
This isn't the soap opera.
No.
Okay, just making sure you're looking at me weird.
Okay.
Well, what was your first thought? Because you had opinions on this too. Well, and secondly, this company just had another derailment. You were telling me about.
Yeah. Outside of Detroit, they had another derailment. More hazardous materials. Conflicting articles I've read. But the last one that I read said that there was a hazardous material train car involved. They uprighted it and removed it from the scene. Whatever that means. The East Palestine thing, I mean, you have talked to a chemist, I guess. So you probably have more of a scientific outlook on it. But it's...
Well, first off, I just want to say it's weird when you have multiple national accounts tweeting out the same 4 pictures and saying what is happening in East Palestine.
Yeah.
Like, You can look it up. I mean, like all this idea that there's a media blackout, there isn't. I mean, there's articles about it all over the place.
Well, it's the UFOs.
Well, that's the other thing is people are like, everyone's talking about UFOs and they're not talking about this. Like, yeah, we can do both. Like, it's not impossible for us to pay attention to both things at the same time.
And the UFOs involve China, so of course, global news is going to cover that more
Right.
than what's going on in Ohio.
Right. I also thought it weird, or thought it was weird when they're like, yeah, any reporter who tries to report on this train derailment's getting arrested. Not true. I mean, we saw on the news. Mike and I were watching it at work. One guy got arrested because he was trying to go live in the conference when they were trying to decide what to do about it.
Well, they're silencing us.
Well, that's what I mean. But it's like one guy got kicked out. I don't even know if he was arrested, and they're just acting like no one's talking about this. You're not allowed to write about it. You're arrested if you talk about it. Meanwhile, other people are saying this is just like Chernobyl, which no, it's just simply not. It's not a nuclear disaster.
Yeah, I think people were trying to say that because it's the government said it was fine to return right away, and truly do we know if it's fine? Other people are saying that they're finding dead fish and lots of dead animals,
Right.
Miles and miles away from this incident. So if it's killing the animals in the water,
And I don't know that part of it, but I also feel like there's people who are like, oh, there's a bunch of dead fish. It's got to be this. It's got to be from the train derailment, which might not necessarily be true.
I mean, but that's kind of like if you see a bunch of kids with chocolate on their hands in Hershey, Virginia, you'd say it's the Hershey factory, right?
No.
I would assume.
No,
assume that's where the chocolate came from.
I wouldn't.
But anyways.
Well, I mean, my old house was on a lake at the end of winter when the ice would start breaking up. There'd be a ton of dead fish just washing up. I'm just saying, like, it could just be something else. I'm not saying but it could be something else that's not that. But no, we asked one of the chemists at work, and he was saying this vinyl chloride stuff is really bad. He wanted to preface it, he's like, it is really nasty stuff. But he said it's very volatile, and the immediate area, like people are drawing these huge maps of the affected area. He's like,
because the watershed.
Right, but he's like, in terms of the burn and like the cloud, which people were freaking out about, he's like, that was probably the only option they had with how much. And he said, you burn it because it's so unstable, because it could have like exploded. So you have to controlled burn it. Like that was the best course of action they had. And he said, when you're going up into the air like that, you're diluting it on such a scale that it'd be the same as dropping one of our quarts of product into the ocean. He's like, it's not that simple, but that's more or less what they're trying to do, is get it out and into a great space, and it will dissipate rather than keeping it in the groundwater, in the soil. So like the immediate area, he said, is like a horrible place. It's a disaster right now, but on a greater scale, it's not the effect that people are predicting and expecting. He said that's probably an overreaction. Probably, he doesn't know, he's not there, and we don't know the amounts.
Right.
But he's saying strictly from like the perspective of did they do the right thing? In his opinion, that was probably the best way they could have done it and the best result they could have had. But you don't know how much was in the water when they did that dump.
Right.
So like that part, don't know. But in terms of the burn off, when people are like, well, now they're burning it to try to poison people. All of these conspiracies come out, and he's saying no, like that's what you would have to do. You have to act quick, and that's the quickest way to control it.
And I would say most people that aren't chemists, you would hope that the government, you don't want scary things to happen, so when something does, you hope they have like a magic wand to fix it. So you'd be like, well, why can't they just, stabilize it with a different chemical?
Right.
Right? Why is burning it the best answer? Because of course something burning and creating what looks like a mushroom cloud is scary.
Right. But I mean, sometimes the visuals are bad, but the results are, necessary.
I do think it's slightly, so I think the bigger issue I have with it is that, and maybe it's wrong, maybe it's somebody trying to push a conspiracy, but supposedly that was not on the manuscript. That was not being
transcribed. That we don't know. Yeah.
So if that's true, I think that's fucked. And I think it is possibly true. I think it's also bad timing for something like this to happen after the railroad workers tried to unionize.
Right.
And it was stopped.
And plus deregulation. Well, part of it not being on the manuscript might have been part of the deregulation where they were just trying to move stuff. I mean, there wasn't a concern about. You don't expect a derailment.
Yep.
It's
You
just,
don't get caught unless it happens, right?
right. I mean, really, it's that kind of thing where it's like, okay, well, we need to get this stuff moving, regardless of whether it's properly labeled or placarded or whatever. And then once it happens, it's like, oh fuck, we probably should have that label.
Ooh, in second thought.
Right.
And what's gonna happen? What's the worst that happens? The train derails?
How long do you think it took from when they called and like, hey, a train derailed, and that company's like, what was on that? Oh shit.
Not long. Not
That's
long.
the vinyl chloride.
I think the
train.
guys transporting it didn't know. So I don't
You don't
think no. From people that I've known that have worked, and they worked for CSX, not Norfolk
Southern.
So could be different processes, but from what I've known from those people that work as conductors, they don't know what the fuck's on their train.
Right.
They're just hauling it, and I've heard stories of them getting like held up because there's times where they stop and there's a way to let the air out of like the
Right. Yeah.
and then they get held up and they're like, yeah, well, fuck it, I don't know what you're about to steal because I don't know what's on here.
Right.
So
It's a bigger scale, but similar to tankers. I mean, truck tankers going around.
right.
I mean, they're supposed to know, but in theory, they could
Do
have the
you all
wrong
the
thing,
time?
or
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know what's gonna happen.
Right.
I also didn't realize that was like what makes PVC and like that's a key, resource for a lot
Yep.
of different materials.
Yep.
And it's
Hopefully
in its
it
raw
won't.
form, it's nasty shit.
Yeah. I'm sure it won't affect my industry anymore, which already has shortages everywhere.
I actually meant to ask you about that because once I read that, I was like, oh, is that part of your area?
Yeah, it's not good. I mean,
I'm not saying
we
it's.
use we use a lot of PVC. So
So do we.
is this enough to fuck it up? I don't know, but it seems like
Do we know how much? Like weight wise, that's the one thing I couldn't find was the actual number of what was
Right.
spilled.
So yeah, if they did mislabel it, or either way, I think Norfolk Southern probably owes people some something. I don't know. You can't just fuck up like that and then
Well,
not get in trouble for it.
there's that 100%, which I mean, there's a chance that they just go, that's one of our subsidiaries. We'll just cancel that line. I mean, they could just
pretty
deflect
easy, huh?
or just
Yeah.
have that particular subsidiary be like, bankruptcy. Like, we're not paying you. We can't.
Yeah.
I just think it's your head spins with all the conspiracies and the way people talk about this thing. I mean, I sat there and I'm like, it's horrible, but why are we turning it into this is Chernobyl and this is the end of the world and all that? I don't see that.
Yeah, I think the only comparison I could make to Chernobyl is if it's truly not safe and the government deemed it safe pretty much instantly, then yeah, that's what they did in Chernobyl. It's where
Well, where do they deem it safe? Because I know they evacuated the immediate area, mile by 2 mile radius.
and then they told them it's safe to return to home. And now they're doing like air tests and water tests.
I did see that, and the head of the EPA is supposed to speak on it tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah.
But like the mayor declared a state of emergency. The governor tried to. I didn't see the "you're all good" thing.
Yeah. I don't. That's what some of the articles I said. I'm not there live reporting, so I don't know.
Right.
What's
Which
true.
we did think about doing a field trip there.
Yeah, and I did see a guy who has a fox sanctuary there, and he's trying to get
A fox sanctuary.
yeah, he's trying to get money for his foxes for all the vet bills because his foxes are not doing well, and one of them died.
Oh
So
my god.
now, did they
So-
die because of it?
Should we adopt a fox?
You should. You definitely
Why-
need
why
another
don't-
animal here.
Yeah, we only have 4.
Yeah, five.
Why don't you get a fox?
I live in an apartment.
So,
It's a well-known fact. Foxes don't do well in apartments.
show me the source on that.
I'll find it.
Okay.
Makes website real quick. Post it, sends it to the blog. To you.
I was gonna say you could do it on a blog.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else on your list?
Plenty of stuff. One's going to be quick, so I'll go to that next. Speaking of Chernobyl, Iran. Did you see what they did recently?
No.
They painted on the side of a ballistic missile, "Death to Palestine"
Good.
in Arabic.
Good. That's good.
It is very good if you were maybe telling the rest of the world, hey, restart our nuclear program so we can use it for energy.
Right.
Then you paint that on the side of a ballistic missile.
Right.
Not the marketing
Did
scheme
they mean
you're going for.
Did they mean East Palestine?
Maybe that's what they meant. I think it may have been death to Israel actually, but one of the two there. And then I have a prank call idea.
Okay.
So
Oh yeah, we didn't do one for next week.
yeah, so you know, a lot of the radio shows in the area do prank calls, like Mojo in the Morning or whatever.
Yeah, and they're all recorded and actors. Yeah.
Yep. So what if we just act like we're a radio show, act like somebody's on a game show, and then just give them an off the wall question.
Oh, just call a random person.
So, for example, hey, this is 100.1 FM Crisis with you. Just want to know, what was your take on the way Jesus died? For $1,000.
How is that a trivia question? There needs
We
to be an
do
answer.
Something stupid, right?
Okay. No, I agree.
We're not going to pay him anyways. So.
I understand, but maybe a little bit more formulated than that.
Yeah,
that's a very open-ended.
I just thought of right here.
That's an open-ended trivia
scripted.
question.
Anyways, yeah. So I think that'll be good.
You're good off the top.
All right, yeah, and then lastly, a potential crime I may have committed.
Oh yeah. So you're a criminal.
Potentially. I mean,
did you misplacard a train in East Palestine recently?
Similar. I misplacard a drunk guy on the side of the road.
Plastered?
Yeah.
What happened?
So when I was like 19, I want to say, I was on my way home.
Okay.
And I had seen a guy pulled over to the side of the road, waved me down, and I was in my head. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be nice today.
You're too friendly.
I'm gonna help.
That's the thing. That's your issue.
I'm gonna help. It's like 11 o'clock at night, and so he gets up to my car.
It's not an old woman having trouble carrying groceries. This is a man on the side of the street.
No, well, I had my piece on me, just so you listeners know. I stay strapped, so you won't catch me lacking. Anyways, so talked to the guy for a little bit. He seems sober, and he's like, "Hey, you know, I think it was raining that night. You know, I lost control. My truck won't start. Can you take me home so I can get my other truck and tow this thing out of here?" I'm like, you know what? I'll take care of you, man. Gets in my car, get like maybe a block down the road, and I'm like, oh, this guy's fucking plastered. This guy is trashed. Not good. So now I'm like, oh, fuck. So I'm driving, but I don't want him to know that I know that he's plastered and just committed a crime. Because he's DUI. He had crashed into a sign.
Oh, okay.
So, I'm like, all right,
you know. So now you're an accessory after the fact.
Right. So where am I taking you? Where do you live, you know? And so he tells me to start driving a direction and says he doesn't live far. And I'm like, all right.
It was Ted Bundy.
So I'm driving, and then he's like, he can't even think of where the fuck he lives. So he gets me close, and then he's also thinking like, take me to my shop. I'll have one of my buddies meet me there. He'll tow it or something. Right? He's just freaking out, trying not to get caught, but also
he's in shock,
trying to not tell me that he's fucked up.
Right.
And it was his daughter's truck that he crashed. He let that slip. So eventually I tell him, I'm like, hey, I'm not fucking taking you anywhere else except your house. I will do that much. And so he steers me to his house. He lets me know that his family's sleeping, that he's had a DUI before, so he can't let them know.
He comes clean.
Because they'll freak out. And I tell him, I'm like, I just dropped you off at your house. As long as you go inside and go tell your family and have them fix this fucking situation, that's on you. I'm good. He says, all right. So I sit there.
You really thought after he told you all that, he was going to go in and...
So I sat there because I didn't trust him. So I pull the end of the road, pull to the side, wait by the stop sign. What's he do? Climbs in a different fucking car.
He flagged someone else down?
No, climbs into one of his own cars at his house.
Oh my God.
And starts driving that. So then...
Do you follow him?
Call the non-emergency number, follow him, see a cop, wave down the cop. Hey, that guy's definitely fucking drunk. Just smashed one car.
Was it on the phone or to the guy you flagged down?
To the guy I flagged down. Also, he's going to fucking probably smash that other car. Don't let him. I don't want... There was a point to me where I was like, I'll help him, but I'm not putting someone else's life in risk.
Right, because at that point...
fuck you, because I just tried to help you, and now you fucking decided, I'm going to do this.
And anyone else on the road's in danger at that point.
Exactly. So, yeah.
Did the guy hit the lights and go pull him over, or what?
He wouldn't pull him over, yeah. Other than the cops never, asked for my contact info or anything, so...
Well, yeah,
didn't get accessory or anything, and you just stop the guy, and we're good from there.
So what's the crime?
Well, you removed somebody from a crime scene.
Yeah, but you didn't know that.
No.
And then once you
That's why I
did, you
said
told the
potentially could
authorities.
have committed a crime.
Okay.
But yeah.
You did the right thing. Is your voice finally breaking down?
Yeah,
You
it's
sound fine.
deteriorating.
That actually reminded me, not nearly as bad, but one time in college, the second time, I was going to pick up my buddy because he was at the bar, and I picking him up, and he's with 3 other guys that he didn't tell me about.
Oh, that's good.
Right, always fun. And then one of the guys is a football player I barely know, and he's like, "Oh, dude, we gotta take my uncle home too," and it's just probably 350-pound dude, gray hair, can't walk, like he's in the middle of the street on his back, arms out, legs out. So they eventually pick him up. They put him in the back seat of my car. So it's me, my buddy, football guy in the back, and then this dude's uncle, who's just screaming the whole ride back to campus. And then we finally get there, and my buddy gets out, football guy gets out, he pulls his uncle out, and then I leave, and I look back, and the guys like kept talking about his hand. I look back, he had been bleeding from his hand, and it's just all over the back seat of my car.
Like somebody had punched something or someone.
So now I'm driving a car that looks like I just killed someone.
Nice.
So then I called the dude. I'm like, hey, what the fuck? And he's like, oh, dude, don't worry. I'll pay for it to get cleaned or whatever. I was like, okay. So then, like, I clean it. I'm like, hey, like, I cleaned it, no big deal, but, like, something's got to happen here, basically. And then he's like, yeah, I'll get you. And then nothing. 5 years later, I'm at a Mud Hens game. And I run into that guy. And he just hands me $100. He goes, hey, remember that time my uncle bled all over your back seat? This is for that. Out of nowhere.
Just, comes full circle.
Like, he saw me at the game, came up to me, and just did that.
He's probably afraid you're going to beat his ass.
Well, no, he was much bigger than I was.
You can still be scared.
But I was just, like, I had almost forgotten about this. Except, how do you forget a 350-pound guy bleeding all over your back seat?
Yeah.
But that just reminded me, because anytime you're picking up a drunk person, you have no idea how that's going to go.
Nope.
You have zero idea.
I'd much rather be the drunk person getting picked up.
Oh, 100%. Or the drunk person driving. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, that's about all I had.
Yeah, I had a couple more, but we'll save it for next week.
I still haven't talked about my neighbor's quest, so I feel like I'm just going to get it out of there. Yeah, we'll save it.
Save it.
We'll save it.
How you feel like this episode went?
I think it went pretty well.
I think it went pretty well. Not strong. Not top 5 material. No. This will definitely be like backlogged.
Sure. But
I just wanted your opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm excited for Phil to listen or not listen, and excited.
Well, we know he's not going to
see if Mike's going to come.
So. I will talk to him because I know he wanted to observe, like we said. So we'll see what that means. Yeah, I would like some better answer on that. Oh, also, Anthony, reacting to the solo show, said he wanted the original song back. So that's at the beginning, and then he didn't like the change up. Yeah.
Does he know who?
No, because I said we'll probably keep it the 2 songs we have until someone finds out who it is, or just randomly decide to change it. He said I have absolutely no clue.
Also,
no one knows.
If Anthony's free, anytime, I'll meet him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll definitely set that up.
It'll be easy because he's a real person.
All right. This has been the 3 Dot Podcast.
Stars and the summer nights never turning cold.
Norfolk Southern emergency line.
Yeah, I don't know if it's an emergency or not, but we got one of them trains of y'all's. We're in East Palestine, Ohio.
Sir, so you're telling me you're a conductor?
Yeah, I'm one of them conductors for y'all, but here's the thing. First of all, nobody got hurt. Let me start with that.
All right.
That's a key part of the story, so y'all can't be mad.
That's good.
What happened was we got derailed, and several cars of, I think, water might have spilled off into the yard.
Sir, what's your conductor ID?
The fuck kind of
I need
question
to
is
figure
that?
out. Norfolk Southern emergency line.
Yeah.
Norfolk Southern emergency line.
Yeah, was there anything hazardous on the train you had going through East Palestine today?
There were a couple of trains, sir. Can you specify?
Train 1.
God, no. You don't mean the train one.
Well, here's the thing: is it seems a spill. We had got a little derailment situation, but Ted is touching it. He said ain't nothing wrong with it. He's actually now he's laying on the ground in it. He gonna be all right?
I think you guys should leave as soon as possible. We're gonna have to get the feds
Well,
down there.
Teddy's got a lighter on him. I think we could just burn this
Dear
right
God,
off.
no.
No,
Hey,
we're gonna burn it right off. It
No,
won't be a
don't
problem.
do that. Please don't do that.
Yeah, this is the Norfolk Southern operator hotline.
Well, I just want to start off with there's some stuff spilled out here, and I'm not quite sure what it was.
Okay. Which train are you conducting here, sir?
JD 12R9, and
JD12R.
we are currently in
okay.
East Palestine, and there's some
East
clear liquid
Palestine.
spilling everywhere. I mean, it is everywhere.
Did you have anything on your manuscript saying this would be hazardous?
No, but it doesn't say anything would be clear quite like this. It does smell bad. It smells like burning plastic, and it's making me real tired.
Okay. What? Can you just stand by on the line while I look up your ID?
Yeah, no problem.
Sir, we got a JR9, I believe he said. He's got a clear liquid.
Norfolk Southern emergency line.
Yeah, I'm up at Van Buren, out by Detroit. We got another derailment. We already heard about the East Palestine thing, but we got another one for you. No, it's fine. It's fine. No, don't get all like that.
Fucked.
I've had 2 citations already.
We're
I'm
so
not going to
fucked.
have a third, you know what I'm saying, buddy?
Oh, our reviews are so bad. This is bad
Reviews?
publicity.